Good day, ladies and gents. I'm Emilio A. Colon, and welcome to the EAC Show, episode 120. Joining me on today's show, we got my man who's been joining me every week so far, Lebron Harvey. Lebron, really do appreciate you coming on the show, my friend.
No doubt.
And also joining us, finally, Cam has come back to the EAC Show. UCF activist, overall sports enthusiast, the big one, Cameron Dinnan, has joined us on St. Patty's Day. Cam, happy St. Patrick's Day to you, my friend, and all the people out there.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Much love. It's always nice returning back to the nest, especially on holidays such as this.
Now, unfortunately, for some technical reasons, Cam is not able to join with us on video. So as you can see, it just says Cameron Dinnan's name on here. So we're going to do this whole show like this, but it is what it is. Cam, it's good to have you back. Lebron, we got so much to talk about, so much to discuss. We're going to discuss some NBA stuff. I'm going to discuss some NFL free agency, signings and this, that, and the third. We're also going to talk about, and this is the main topic of the show, we're going to talk about whether these athletes need to be taking a portion of their earnings up front in Bitcoin. That is a huge deal to me. Real huge deal.
Yeah, it is. It's a massive deal, but I mean, for me, I would only say that they should be paid if they agreed upon it. You know, like if only certain players that agree with Bitcoin and are into cryptocurrency and give their consent in order to be paid a portion of their salary or all their salary in Bitcoin. I don't think it should be a mandated league-wide thing.
Lebron, we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves. We're going to discuss that last. I want to touch base on that last. I'm so passionate about that, so we'll discuss that last. But the first subject I want to talk about, Cam and Lebron, is I want to talk about LeBron James and the boss move that he is making, becoming a partial owner, getting into that billionaire, old money. This money never runs out. This type of money is long money, mafia money, old school John F. Kennedy back in the days money. We're talking about him and Maverick Carter becoming part owners of the Boston Red Sox. LeVon, give me your thoughts on this. I have so much to say about this.
Well, I mean, LeBron's doing what he's been wanting to do for a long time, and that's come to LA, be the movie star. He's won a title, so that part of his career is already done. He got LA a title already. Now it's that second level of bossicity, if you will. So it's all about shooting movies now, leveling up, owning teams. You already some soccer team, right?
Yeah, Liverpool. A portion of Liverpool.
And now he's getting into Boston. Now he's getting into Boston Red Sox. This is generational money. His grandkids gonna be straight, man. So this is just a level up move by LeBron, man. Salute, for real.
Cam, give me your opinion on it.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Just going off what LeBron said, it's a massive thing for an athlete that's still playing. I think that's the biggest thing. We've seen athletes buy teams, and after they have retired and for X amount of years, he's still playing. He's still going to have at least 5 years left. I mean, he's going to be owning a part-time owner of a major MLB team. So it's massive. It's a multiple teams he has ownership in now. I find it funny that if there is one city and one fan base that sort of have given LeBron problems his whole career, he's fucking them buy one of their sports teams. Just throws a major dick out on him.
Major flex. Now, LeBron is the biggest fair weather fan there is known to man. LeBron James is from Akron, Ohio. He roots for the New York Yankees. He likes the Dallas Cowboys. He rooted for the fucking LA Dodgers in the World Series last year. And now he owns a portion of the Boston Red Sox. Seriously, LeBron is the definition of what these new fans are today.
Yeah, remember, LeBron started the movement. It's okay to relocate. It's okay to move.
It's okay to play with my friends. Well, you know what? This motherfucker made some really big friends. Seriously.
Yeah, I'm taking my talents to blank, and everyone else is doing it now. Everybody else is doing it now.
I mean,
big friends and big money.
Yeah, I mean, what a major flex to really shit on a fucking city that just was so cruel and evil, and they're supposed to be. They're supposed to root against the enemy, and I get it. But now he owns, he owns a portion of Fenway Park and everything that revolves around the Boston Red Sox. Like, seriously, like, he can stun on them and just be like, shut up. I'll kick you out my park or whatever it may be. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy to me how much. Now, not for nothing, you can tell about what's going on. I'm still trying to learn a little bit about this NFT shit, this virtual trading card and fucking art and all types of shit, to the point where a card with LeBron James image on it sells for $71,000.
I don't really understand that. I mean, I guess I understand it. Like, everyone, they say, like, you can look up a moment on YouTube and see it there, but I guess if you have the NFT, you essentially own the digital version of it. I still don't really, I'm not really, as a card collector, I like having tangible things that I can hold.
I don't disagree with you. And LeVon, before you add on to, I don't disagree with Cam said, but we have to be open-minded. We can't be like how our parents were. We have to understand that the digital age is here and it's not fucking going anywhere.
That is very true. And it was weird. I mean, I heard about this maybe, 3 months ago. It was the top shots, I believe is what they call it. And,
we all have kids. It's okay, fam.
the top shots is what they call it. And I've been hearing these cards sell for like, but it's pretty dope moments, right? And it actually goes to your blockchain. So you gotta remember your password and all that stuff. We've all heard stories about this, guys having Bitcoin when it was a couple dollars. They bought thousands of it and they can't remember the password.
Yep.
Today,
Cam, imagine, and I know who I'm talking about, Cam. Imagine knowing the guy that you and I both know that calls you and he's like, "Hey, Cameron, what the hell is my password to my Coinbase account? I forgot it."
We all know that one individual is, and then they get upset when they sell out too early and then Bitcoin blows up. You always have that one person.
Not for nothing. That is true. Now, I'm just so happy for LeBron James. He's making major moves. Congratulations to him and his peoples that are involved, Maverick Carter and so forth and so on. Here's my question. My question is, are we going to see more of this? In your opinion, who would be the next major athlete to take that next big step into that old money billionaires MLB boys club, or maybe even the NFL? Who's the next major athlete, in your opinion, guys, to take that next step?
Here's a problem. They have to want to do it. They have to want to do this, though. Some guys are making a lot of money. Like, some guys are making, LeBron spent a lot of money over time, and he has a lot of different ventures, but if we're talking just basketball, some guys are making more money than LeBron James playing basketball, and they're happy with it. Because this money, making $50 million a year, for the next 7-8 years, even these soccer players, too, they're good. I'm sitting on $200 million. I'm not high maintenance. I don't really care about owning teams and having a legacy. LeBron's all about legacy. LeBron wants to, when his time has passed, when he's dead, gone, he wants to be the Raptors. LeBron did this, LeBron did that. He did movies, he did this. Some guys are just happy being low-key, 100 millionaires, and just not really tripping, not really caring about anything.
But who could you see?
You gotta be motivated. I don't see it right now. But also, LeBron's a generational athlete that thinks different. So you got to think about that player has to be generational and he has to have the mindset. Right now, for me, it's too early. I can't tell you.
Cam, what about you?
I kind of agree with LeBron there. I mean, you kind of just jump on opportunity when it strikes. The interesting for me is that I'm not really exactly sure. Did he just look for a team to buy right away? Was this the first one that just came available? Was he looking to buy it?
He's part of the Fenway Sports Group, which they actually own Liverpool, which is in England. So the Red Sox ownership group actually own Liverpool, that's in England. So he's part of that group already. So since he's part of that group, they sat there and they said, hey, listen, let's also make you a part owner of this. And then he ended up buying a bigger percentage of it because he already has a relationship with them. So him and Maverick Carter ended up owning a portion of the Red Sox because of that relationship that they created with the purchasing of the Liverpool FC in England.
Okay.
Let's keep it a buck, though. LeBron's not going to own, part of the Minnesota
Vikings?
Damn. He's not doing that. Look, he's got to have some swag to whatever he owns. We know that's who LeBron is. He's going to show up to the game in the box seats, swagged out. We know he's not going to. Now, to answer the question, we do remember Patty Mahomes got paid, and he is part owner of the Kansas City Royals, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes. But it's a little okay. That is a little bit different, and I'll explain why. That's a little bit different, Cam. And I don't know if you noticed, is because Patrick Mahomes is an owner, like a minority owner, where LeBron James was actually an investor in the purchasing of Liverpool, and then ended up through his partnership giving even more money to Fenway Sports in order to buy his percentage into the Boston Red Sox. Patty Mahomes, in my opinion, still has a long way to go to be able to be in those conversations.
Sure, but you got to start somewhere, and then you don't really see anybody making those moves to even start there. That's my point.
And LeBron's right. I mean, Patrick Mahomes, we're talking about two different beasts here. Patrick Mahomes has been in the league for 3 years or so. LeBron's, he's, 38?
Yeah.
The fact that Mahomes got at least some skin in the game this early on is impressive,
I mean, I can see a couple of guys. I can see Russell Wilson. I can see Aaron Rodgers. I can see Patrick Mahomes. I can see a couple guys, in the NFL, more in the NFL than anything else. More in the NFL than anything else. I can see a couple guys that are sitting there and they'll venture off and they'll sit there and say, oh, I want to do something. Russell already has some partial ownership in the Seattle Sounders up in the MLS. Like you said, Patrick Mahomes has something to do with the Kansas City Royals. Like, there's people that are doing it, but I'm talking about on the same level as LeBron. There's very few that are going to be able to do it. The main person, in my opinion, that could, but like LeVon had stated, you have to have a general interest in doing it, would be Mike Trout for me. Mike Trout literally is worth over more than $500 million. He could do it 100%. The question is whether or not he wants to do it.
Yeah, see, that's where I was going to go with. LeBron's like a hey, look at me guy. I'm not saying owning a team because that's what he is. Maybe that's his childhood dream. I don't know. Who am I to say? But Mike Trout doesn't seem like that kind of guy. If it was me, I would say Bryce Harper would be the kind of guy that would want to be owning a team in the fucking tabloids, like has his face out there in the press box. He's more of a hey, look at me guy. And he got the money for it, I think. So I think him more than Trout, I would say.
Absolutely. I think
I 100% agree. I 100% agree. Mike Trout's good with the Subway commercial. He walks through the mall, you wouldn't even blink an eye at him. He could walk through the Cold Store Mall, you'd not know. You would. I mean, you see a built guy.
But that's because that's what he wants.
Correct.
Yeah, that's correct. And that's what he wants. So I'm not saying he won't do it, but Bryce Harper is a look at me. I'm flashy. Look at my hair. I throw my back. I'm sexy. This,
right.
that, and the third. Whereas Trout is, his biggest thing has always been he's the best player of all time, but he just does his job and goes home and just has a beer and just kicks his feet.
Machine. The most polarizing thing he's done was go to the Eagles games. Remember, he used to go to the Eagles games and sit like
Front row, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that's really the only thing I've seen him do, other than maybe a commercial here and there. That's really out of his element.
That's
And mind you, these guys we're talking about, they gotta have a bag. We all know that. But we're not talking about, hey, I make $25 million a year. Nah, homie, that's not enough. You're gonna need to make that 40 plus range, and then you're gonna have endorsements. You gotta have a bag to do this.
Yeah, you gotta have a really, really big bag. That's why I said it's very, very few. Like you gotta be able to make $50 million a year and above, to be able to be in that conversation, because you gotta have astronomical money to be able to, to spend it. Like you gotta put some type of investment up front,
Yeah, investing too. You gotta. Oh man, that's too much of an investment. I don't want to. Again, mindset. So yeah.
Just so happy for them, and looking forward to more of this being done, because it needs to be done. Because in all actuality, at the end of the day, when you have somebody of that nature, of that magnitude, a LeBron James, Patrick Mahomes, a Aaron Rodgers, or whoever it may be, it brings a certain vibe and a certain charisma to what you're trying to do. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing if this ends up happening in the future, and let's see if these guys end up getting big bags. So the next conversation I'm going to discuss with you guys that we talked about is I want to talk about NFL signings and free agencies. Now, I spoke to Levon a little bit off the show, like on side. We spoke about a little bit of stuff. Cam, tell me, is there anything that you've seen that have stuck out and we like, wow, really? That really did happen?
As far as what? I'm sorry, repeat that?
NFL signings, like the free agent signings.
Yeah, the only thing that really surprised me was how willing and able the Patriots were able to spend so much money in one day.
My man William Belichick is spending that bread.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that, I mean, he wanted, it's almost like he thought these guys were going to be bought the first day out, so he's like, let me just put all my chips on the table the very first day. I mean,
Levon, I'm going to call him William. William Belichick is literally like the kid that just turned 21 that you take to Diamond Dolls and you give him $1,000 in cash.
100%. 100%. You didn't know what to do when you spend it so quickly. So I think that's the really thing that surprised me. The fact that, and also that he got Hunter Henry and Johnny Smith studs, and he's going to try to do the Gronk Aaron Hernandez thing, which I like. To his old offense.
Levon, what was the number that he spent in the year since he's been the Patriots coach? It's like $300 million total. The man spent over $150 million on like the first 2 days of free agency.
Yeah, he said, "Bump it. I'm getting back to the playoffs at least. Cam, give me something, big dog."
Yo, somebody needs to make a meme of Bill Belichick in Dumber and Dumber. Where was it? Lloyd Christmas and whatchamacallit is just literally giving out money like to everybody. Like, here, take it.
I need that. And I think the only other thing that surprised me is the lack of like wide receiver acquisitions. I know there's a lot of wide receivers on the table right now. I think there's like some inkling at like T.Y. Hilton and Corey Davis, and I just hear a lot of names, but not a lot of Adam Schefter or Woj bombs being dropped about those names.
Now, in T.Y. Hilton's respect, the GM of the Colts did state, T.Y., go out there, go get your money, and give me an opportunity to match whatever because we want you to come back. So he did say that. So T.Y. is playing the market, but T.Y. has a bag secured in Indianapolis because they really do want him back. So T.Y. goes out there and he gets a certain number. He could go back to Indy and be like, look, let's make this happen. I'll stay here or whatever. So that...
You need to cut somebody a deal and yo, check me out, Bears. You just tell them you want to give me $9 million so they can match it. I'll throw you back $1 million.
I'm so happy you brought that up. Cam and Levon, I want you guys to fight over this. Please tell me how the Bears are sitting there and they're talking about Russell Wilson. And the next thing you know, they're settling on the red rifle, Andy Dalton.
It's a fucking clown. They've always been clowns. They've been clowns since '86. Let me tell you something. I actually don't mind what they're doing because I think they legitimately probably put out an effort, like a shy effort to get Russell Wilson or maybe a couple other guys, and they're like, obviously they're not going to be willing to deal Russ, right? So they're saying, all right, we didn't really have a shot there. Let's just grab Andy Dalton for a year. It's a 1-year contract, and we'll give it a shot next year.
Didn't they tag Allen Robinson?
What's up?
Didn't they tag Allen Robinson?
I'm not sure. I can't say.
I think they tagged Allen Robinson, if I'm not mistaken. I think they really did tag Allen Robinson. But
whatever, we're talking about their quarterback situation.
I know, but they haven't had a fucking quarterback since Jim McMahon in 1985.
That's what I'm saying. The last quarterback was Jay. I mean, let's be honest. I'm not saying Jay's a Hall of Famer. What's that?
Jay Cutler? Jay Cutler's a fucking bum. He wasted. He had Brandon Marshall, Martellus Bennett, and Alshon Jeffrey. All of them tied over 70. He's a bum.
We could toss. Okay, my point is, look, after Jay Cutler, we had what? Mike Glennon. We had.
No, Levon, I'm not disagreeing with you. You've been lied to about Jay Cutler.
Look, maybe this was offense for a while. Maybe it's offense effect. I'm sorry.
Offense effect, 100%.
all right, so let's get to that. Let's get to that because you.
Hold on. Let me tell you something, Jay Cutler. He had a couple of good years in Chicago because of those 3 guys. He should have had a way better year there.
I don't disagree with you. I agree with you totally. I agree with Cam totally. I don't disagree with him.
They stole $21 million last year to get backup. What is this franchise doing?
He stole more money than Osweiler. That's how much money.
No one has stole more money than the kid from who was he? He was with the Rams and Philly, and what was his name? He came from Oklahoma. No. The quarterback that was drafted the year before Cam was drafted when they changed the rules.
Well, I know that the Oakland Raiders quarterback, the big black kid, he stole them when they had for history.
No. Jamarcus Russell got a big bag, but I'm talking about that one quarterback from Oklahoma. I forgot his name. No. No, he played for the Rams. Then when he went for the Rams, he went to the Eagles for a little while. What was his name?
Rams and Eagles. Hold on, I'm looking it up.
Rams?
I forgot. He's from Oklahoma. He done stole What? Thank you. He done stole so much money from the NFL teams. It's not even funny.
He was a first round draft pick. He played out of something. I think Jamarcus Russell stole way more money than him.
Yeah, but see, Sam Bradford wasn't a bust though. Like he actually was good. He just got hurt so much. He was the most injury-prone quarterback.
So Jay Cutler's just a bum.
Marcus Russell,
I'm not saying he was great, but no one liked Jay Cutler. He's not a good guy.
Let's touch base on you guys, because you guys are both on the show. You guys are both Miami Dolphins fans. Tell me what you feel about what your Miami Dolphins have been doing. Obviously, they're going with Tua. Tua's their guy. They're rocking with Tua. No trades are being done. Tell me what you guys think.
I'm a little nervous. See, the thing is, the Dolphins, it's funny because the Dolphins, from what I've been hearing, have been in every single convo, period. And we're in every single convo. We haven't really been pulling the trigger like we should be. But who am I, right? They got something bubbling. They know what it is. They see the players. They have these conversations. They know more than I do. So I don't really have much to say.
Cam, did you get that alert on your phone the other day that said breaking news, the Houston Texans trade? And I was like, holy shit. Did fucking Deshaun Watson just get traded to Miami Dolphins? And it was some other shit, a linebacker or some shit like that.
No, I didn't get that. People were on edge. No, I mean, I'm not a Dolphin fan. I fuck with them because I'm down here. My family likes the Dolphins. Listen, they spent
They're your second team.
They're my second team, 100%.
Yeah.
They spent a top 5 draft pick on the kid. He's still coming back from an injury. He didn't really have full reps for an entire season like some of these other rookie quarterbacks did. To bail on him is just a little ridiculous. I mean, they say you give quarterbacks 3 years. They gave fucking Ryan Tannehill 5 years, Dolphins.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you got to at least give two, 3 years, get in the landscape to see if he's worth keeping and building around.
I don't disagree with you not one bit. Now, Cam, I do want to talk about your favorite team, the Cheeseheads up in Wisconsin. Shout out to them boys. They did end up signing Aaron Jones. They gave him a big bag. Big bag. What else needs to be done in Green Bay?
So we have to. I think we're going to move one of our guards to center. We just let our center go because we couldn't pay him. He's like a top 3 center in the league, Corey Lindsley. What we need is a wide receiver. Obviously, we've talked about that in the past. I personally think T.Y. Hilton, Corey Davis, and I forgot the other name. I think those 2 names are big right now for Packers' wish list.
Mm-hmm.
Packers fans' wish list. Other than that, just bulk up the defense. I mean, we need a lot of help on the defense. We were the top scoring offense in the league last year. Throw in a wide receiver, whether it's an acquisition or a draft pick, and then focus on maybe get another offensive lineman and just load up on defense.
I could tell me this, LeBron. I could 100% see T.Y. Hilton playing in Green Bay.
Yeah, you spoke about this last week about how, there was a little bit of the Odell chirps going around. But I think another receiver would be huge. I mean, on the other side of Devontae Adams, I think Devontae's the number 1-2 receiver in the league. And you get another secondary receiver. We're not talking Lazard. Those guys are cute, you know what I mean? But those are third receiver, right? If you get number 2, man, that'd be huge for Aaron Rodgers. He would
No, LeBron is right. I mean, he'd be like, Devontae Adams is he's a little bit of an everything guy, but mainly he's a possession guy. That's what we're turning him into. He's getting 10, 12, 13 targets or catches a game. We need a flyer, someone who's going to stretch the field out. And this kid, MVS, out of the Scantling, is supposed to be that guy. He's got a lot of speed, he's got a lot of size, but he drops the ball more than anyone in the league.
Yes.
So we're trying to replace him with more reliable speedster like a T.Y. Hilton. Throwing the Allen Lazard, the Robert Tonyan who balled out at tight end last year, and we have someone working with him.
MVS is crazy because MVS gets open every game, and he gets like 2 catches. There'll be some games he'll get 2 catches for 180 yards. 280 yards.
Listen. I was a big what's the word I'm looking for? I was very hard on the Green Bay Packers for not going out and getting a receiver. And I ate my words. I ate my crow, and Cam knows this. I ate my crow because they showed that they didn't need a big name receiver. In my opinion, I still think they don't. But if they get one, okay, hat tip to you. My thing is the defense needs to be consistent for the whole year. The defense had their moments. They had their peaks and valleys, their ups and downs, or whatever it may be. And not for nothing, we have to be realistic. Aaron Rodgers and that offense plays on such a high level that if we see a normal 3 and out, 2 back-to-back possessions, the world is crumbling.
Yeah, and that's what happened in the Bucs game. How we weren't able to take the game over after Brady threw 3 interceptions. I mean, the defense did what they needed to in that moment in a big game in a big spot. So that was kind of a weird thing to see how the offense was doing it all damn year in the biggest moment they couldn't. But that's the biggest thing. I mean, like you said, everyone sort of ate their words on the offensive side. I told you before the year started last year what the Packers were going to do. They were going to turn it to the Saints. They were just going to throw the ball to Michael Thomas and then run it. They did the same thing with our running backs and Devontae Adams. He got 15 targets a game and then just handed the ball up through screen passes. And it worked.
What was I want to give a shout out to the homie that just retired. I think it's Williams, Tremont Williams. I think it is. Tremont Williams. Shout out to him. He just retired with the Green Bay Packers. Big. A lot of big games that he played in. That you need people like that. He was literally like the foundation, one of the founding members of that defense. So shout out to him and congratulations and enjoy retirement. Make sure you show your face over there in Lambeau Field. And let's wish the Packers some good luck this year. So the last topic that we're going to discuss, and this is the one I want to spend the rest of the show on, and we'll end the show. And I appreciate both of you guys for coming on here. Is I want to discuss, whether or not some of these athletes should decide to take a portion of their signing bonuses or their salaries or endorsements or whatever it may be and get paid in Bitcoin. Give me your guys' opinions.
I know Cam was speaking on it earlier. Cam, do you want to kind of?
Yeah, I kind of, blew my nut in a sense pretty early. Everyone knows my thoughts on it, but that's where I'm at. I think it's okay as long as you get the consent of the player. Like if the player chooses to be paid in Bitcoin, then they can be paid in Bitcoin. If not, it's straight cash as always, direct deposit. So I think it just comes down to a matter of preference.
Now, LeVon and I spoke about this before the show started. Russell Okung was the first one to pretty much publicize that he did this. And he got a portion of his $13 million contract, half of it, he got paid in Bitcoin by the Carolina Panthers. Contractually, they have to give him that. So they gave him that. If he held on to that money, he has literally turned that $6.5 million to a current value of $21 million in less than, 2 years?
Right. Yeah, but here's the thing. When you sign a contract, let's say I want to get paid in Bitcoin. I'm Kawhi Leonard. I want to get paid in Bitcoin.
A portion, not the whole thing. A portion.
Okay, well, let's just say, in general, I signed a 2-year contract, and I asked for 50 Bitcoins. Now, am I getting 50 Bitcoins when I signed the contract, the day I signed the contract, at that value? Or am I getting whatever 50 Bitcoin is worth in dollar amount, like throughout spread? You know what I'm trying to ask?
Great question. But that's negotiable. Like, like I said, if it's a signing bonus, so for example, some of these guys are getting $30 million signing bonus, like Trent Williams from the San Francisco 49ers. If Trent Williams says, hey, listen, I want $3 million of my $30 million that you have to give me in Bitcoin when I sign, they have to give it to him.
Okay, here's what I want to ask, and it's kind of similar to in the same realm of conversation that Cam just brought up. Okay, right now Bitcoin's at what, 50,000?
Like almost, it's hovering between 50 and 60,000.
It would only make sense that hey, it's at the price it is now. Once we pay you, if it goes down to 30, that's on you.
But that's the risk you take. You know that. That's why I said it doesn't have to be your whole salary. It can be a portion of it.
No, but my thing is, the only thing, why not just get the money and then of course buy Bitcoin? The only thing I would say, the only benefit I would say by you getting Bitcoin is if you say, you know what, I'm saving the fees of depositing on Coinbase or whatever. If you're saving fees for $3 million, I can save my fees of $3 million of depositing that, and then as opposed to me getting paid my money, then me trying to buy Bitcoin.
Right.
Otherwise, why don't you just get paid and then buy Bitcoin?
See, because I think the thing is, and I'm not mistaken, when it comes to professional athletes get taxes taken out of their checks. So in an instance to where you, right. Right. So in an instance to where when you get taxes taken out of your check, for somebody like Trent Williams, it's better that the team gives him the Bitcoin because the money's already going to be taken out. The taxes are already going to be taken out, period. Now, he would have to pay taxes if he then deposits the money into an exchange and then it increases and then he pulls out. Then you have to pay the capital gains on that. But no one has a problem paying taxes on money that you're making money on. Like, no one cares about that. But in all actuality, I think that these players get paid on the 1st and the 15th. And when they get paid on the 1st and the 15th, taxes are taken out of their checks. So in all actuality, it's better for the team to do it for you than you do it yourself.
Listen, I'm a believer in it.
I know you're a believer in it, Cam.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, but the thing is that I, as an athlete, put all this work into getting to the league, build your brand, stay around. It's easy to make the league, it's hard to keep in the league kind of thing, And then you sign a contract, you do your research on Bitcoin. Let's say you sign a contract to have 50,000 is Bitcoin's at right now. And then you're playing throughout the season, busting your ass in the season, and Bitcoin just takes a shit and it's at like 28,000. You're like, damn, I'm balling right now, but I'm like essentially losing money.
But in that case, the money that you put aside for that, you already know that that's a possibility. It's going to happen. It doesn't matter whether it's stocks, investments, whatever. It doesn't matter. It could be a failing business. You just know that the money that you put aside on that is totally different.
And I was going to say this. Look, and I'm implementing this right now. Boys and girls, whatever athlete, if you're going to do this, just wait till your second, probably your third contract.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're better in minimum contract.
Get the second, preferably third contract. Then we can start talking. Because what you're making $20 million a year, you should have $50 million stash. You can afford to take 3.5 million.
Yo, LeBron, let me get $6.5 million and let's turn that money into Bitcoin.
Man. He's probably got like physical Bitcoins.
Hey, listen, Cam, I know we were supposed to talk a little bit longer about this. You got about 3 minutes left for this episode to end. I obviously brought you on because you're one of the founding members of the show, and I appreciate you whenever you come on. LeBron's been holding it down and doing a great job. But I'm going to give you the floor for the next 2 minutes. You can go on your little UCF, tell us about it, what's going on, how happy you are. If you're not excited, whatever, maybe you got 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Go!
Okay, listen, it's a big time right now. This is called the Get Back era.
Get back!
Josh Heupel, Scott Frost wasn't a big name, right? He came in, he did huge things in a matter of 2 years, and then got a big Power 5 job.
Josh Heupel, you suck!
He does suck. He was that fucking offensive coordinator at Missouri. He saw what Scott Frost did. He said, oh, let me fucking do that. Stayed for 2 years, boom, Tennessee. That's the formula for these guys. Now we have an older guy who's been to the mountaintops already, Gus Malzahn.
Gus Malzahn!
Done all these things, and just wants a place. He even said it at his press conference. He's like, if the right guys, I'm using his words. If the right guy, he's like, I've always said this the last 3-5 years. If the right guy goes to Orlando and stays there, they're going to be a problem. And he's like, I think I'm that guy right now. That's what he said. He's older. He's been in this game for 30 years. He literally wrote the book on how to run a hurry-up offense. I'm not saying that's a saying, but he actually wrote a motherfucking book.
Cam.
So he's fit for us.
Cam, where's a wall? Because I want to get nitro and I want to run through the shit for the UCF Knights, baby.
No, it's a big season, man. I only got like a couple more seconds here, but I'm just letting you know it's the get right season. We got Boise State first game of the year. We got Louisville week 3. It's coming.
So listen, this is going to conclude episode 120 of the EAC Show. I'm Emilio A. Colon. That's LeVon Harvey. That is Cameron Denton, a UCF activist, overall sports enthusiast. Make sure you click like, subscribe on all podcast platforms and on YouTube. The engagement on social media has been so great. We're extremely thankful. Thank you so much. And we'll see you episode 121. Take it easy, guys. Yo, guys, I really do appreciate that, man. Thanks a lot.
No doubt.
I'll talk to you later.